Welcome to the Sioux Empire Community Theater Radio. First, a warning. Our production of Death of a Jazz Man by Eric Coble contains excessive nudity and graphic stupidity. It is directed by no one in particular. The actors perform all their own stunts, and no animals were hurt in the making of this thing. The announcer and Howard are played by Jeff Gould. Linda Loman and the secretary are played by Emily Wilson. Willy Loman is played by Robin Byrne. Biff is played by Jesse Jensen. And Happy is played by the strikingly handsome and underutilized Jordan Deffenbaugh, who probably should have been given a much bigger part. Music is performed by Reiffenberger and his imaginary orchestra. Ladies and jelly spoons, sit back as we take social distancing to a whole new level. We give you Eric Coble's Death of a Jazz Man.
While researching the jazz era, we came across a fascinating, previously unproduced script by an American theater legend. And God help us if we were going to keep it to ourselves. So, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we dare to present you the world premiere of Arthur Saxman Miller's Death of a Jazz Salesman.
Willy?
It's all right, Linda. I came back.
You brought all your instruments upstairs.
Just the sax, the trumpet, the bass, the drum kit, the trombone and the piano. No wonder me back's killing me.
I thought you had a gig in Jersey.
A 6-year-old's birthday party. They wanted the Willy Loman Septet to play for a 6-year-old's birthday.
I'm sorry.
And we got bumped. The clown ran long. His stupid balloon animals and that puppet show was interminable, Linda. Interminable.
Well, you're home now.
We tried to play as they opened gifts, but nobody wants to hear I let a song go out of my heart when they can watch puppets beat the living crap out of each other.
Willy.
It's a disgrace.
Willy.
There's no culture left.
Willy.
Kids shoved a cupcake in my saxophone.
Willy.
What?
Why don't you ask your agent to book you here in town?
They got no respect, these agents, these days. If Sid Shoemeister was still alive, I'd be playing Carnegie Hall tonight.
Sid was never your agent, Willy.
I know, but he had a janitor's key to the back door of Carnegie Hall. Sid would have let me in any time. Any off night when no one was around. Do we have any heroin?
You know we don't keep that in the house anymore, dear.
All the good jazz men are on it. A man can't even get a simple narcotic in his own house anymore. Kid shoved a cupcake in my saxophone, Linda. Did I tell you that?
Dear, you're gonna wake Biff and Happy.
It's 2 a.m. What are they doing sleeping?
Biff just got in, Willy.
In my day, we'd just be starting our second set in the club at 2 a.m. These lazy kids these days.
Biff hasn't played in a club in years, Willy. You know that. He says his spit valve is stuck.
Spit valve is stuck? Greatest trumpeter this family's ever seen, and his spit valve is stuck?
It happens to the best, dear.
He could still be big. He could play at any club in New York.
Yes, dear.
I'm going to have a cookie. Do you want a cookie?
No, thank you. Watch your instruments at the top of the... stairs. Are you all right, Willy?
Fine. Drumstick. Lodged in my nose. Go to bed, Linda.
Good night, Willy.
Hey, Happy. Was that Pop?
Falling down the stairs?
Yeah. So, why has he started speaking with a North of England accent?
He's a jazz musician. He's probably improvising. Anyway, everyone knows that jazz began in New
New Orleans?
Newcastle upon Tyne.
He falls downstairs a lot lately.
You know, he didn't have these inner ear problems when you were playing jazz in the city, Biff.
Oh, no, not you two.
I'm serious. What's there for you out west, Biffo? What can you get out there that you can't get in New York?
Well, if you really want to know...
What is that?
It's, guitar happy.
Yeah, but it's all covered in rhinestones and fringe and crap.
This is how they play it in Tucumcari.
No. No.
That's right, Hap.
You're not. You can't.
I'm singing country western now,
No!
Happy. The noose around my neck don't hurt like the one around my heart.
Cut it out.
And what I miss about your beans is the way they make me.
Will you shut it? Pop hears that, his inner ears will explode.
You don't know what it's like out west, Hap. None of this artsy-fartsy, low-down improvisation on a 12-chord structure. Out there's a world, a real world, where real men lose real bonds in tragic fires and lose their women in a bad hand, a pinochle, and lose their dogs in a tragic rototiller accident just at harvest time.
The appealing part's not coming through so far.
It's real happy. Real painful. Just 'cause I'm blind and deaf don't mean that I am dumb.
Biff, you want real pain? You whine one more note, and I'm gonna smash that guitar right over your achy breaky head.
Boys,
Ma!
I could have sworn I heard a cat being strangled in here.
That was me, Ma, singing about a simple pain in a simple way.
What do you know about pain?
Don't, Ma. He'll just start singing again.
You want pain? You live with your father.
So he falls down the stairs sometimes, is that?
Sometimes he lugs those instruments in and out of the house every night. Every night. Man's 60 years old and he can't afford a roadie.
I sent you a $50 bill last Arbor Day.
He used that to buy cowbells to impress Gene Krupa.
Oh, man.
$50 for cowbells?
And the doctor says if he ever tries to play a high G again, he'll burst a blood vessel in his head and it'll be curtains.
Gee, Ma. Well, I had no idea.
Oh, you and he used to be such pals, Biff. Remember all the jam sessions you used to sit in on?
Yeah.
He paid $50 for cowbells.
What happened, Biff? You went up to see him in Boston all those years ago, and it's never been the same between you. What happened up there?
I'm sorry I ever came back. He's always worse when I come back.
I cannot believe Pop paid $50 for cowbells.
Will you shut up?
I'll leave again, Ma. You'll see. You'll see. He'll be fine if I just leave again.
He won't be fine.
What do you mean?
Last month. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Last month, I went downstairs to the basement for a can of weenies. Not regular weenies, but those little ones. The cocktail weenies in the little sardine tins. You know, they're the spicy weenies, and you stick them on the toothpick. Tiny, spicy weenies.
Yeah. We know what you mean, Ma.
Well, I happened to notice a lump of something behind the water heater, and I thought it was a sack of something, and I went and I picked it up, and I knew your father must have left it there, and it was
What, Ma?
bagpipes. Your father had a set of bagpipes in the basement.
No. That jerk.
Attention! Attention must be paid to a jazzman who owns bagpipes, Biff. He's not well. His life is in your hands, both of you.
Oh, all right, pal. All right. I had no idea. I'll stay. I'll get some gigs, with some combo. And Dad, he can sit in with us. It'll be okay.
Sure it will. I'll sit in with you, too. I can play cowbells like nobody's business.
Cowbells went out with Jade Krupa.
Pop!
Willy, you got a drumstick stuck in your nostril.
Thank you, Linda.
Biff was just saying how he was going to get a gig here in the city.
No kidding.
I'll need a trumpet with a good spit valve.
You can use mine. It's a little bent up from all the crashes. The bell points straight up at the ceiling.
Like Dizzy Gillespie. You look just like Dizzy, Biff.
My cheeks don't puff like that.
You'll be big in no time, boy. Remember when you played in school?
It was just a marching band.
Just marching? Middle of the school fight song? Who bursts into oobity dobbity dooby booby bibbity bobbity boop?
Biff did!
My trumpet man.
Confused all the cheerleaders. They missed their jumps and catches. People were being carried off the field in stretches.
My trumpet man.
Canceled the rest of the season. Hate mail and death threats for months.
And you can do it again, Biff.
Actually,
You go see Bill Oliver at the litter box.
litter box?
New club on 42nd. Bill Oliver will remember you from band, Biff.
He'll give you an opening night slot tomorrow night, the very night. You'll be huge in no time.
And Willy, you can talk to your agent Howard tomorrow about getting gigs in town.
I absolutely will, Linda. I'll tell him my son's spit valve is unstuck.
Oh, you might find another way to phrase it.
We'll blow the socks off this joint. We'll be as happy-go-lucky as Charlie Parker and Billie Holiday.
Let's celebrate. Ma, do we still have any morphine or heroin in the house?
No.
Ah, Biffo, you'll see. You... what's that?
Oh, it's a guitar?
What's with the rhinestones and the fringe and crap?
Actually, Dad...
Where's your trumpet, Pop? Let's get Biff on that horn.
It's so good to see the family jamming together again.
Tomorrow morning, I'm marching into Howard's office and I'm demanding a local gig, Linda. You'll see.
Pop.
Let's make some music. I'll get what's left of the instruments from downstairs.
I'll wash off that drumstick.
Pop!
Get that mangy guitar out of the way, Biff. We got music to play. Tomorrow morning, the Loman family is going to make those nowhere hubcaps pin the outest cats and jelly tots to ever dig a cube.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. Let's jam.
Who is it, Sugar Lumps?
Mr. Loman to see you, sir.
Oh, send him in. Right away. Willy!
Howard, my main cat. How's it hanging?
Oh, how's what hanging? Oh, what kind of greeting is that?
I was, well, you know, trying to be hip.
Hip. Hip is out. Cool is in. Willy, listen to this.
Ye gods! What did you do to that guitar?
It's plugged in. It's electric, Willy.
Well, that is cool.
Haven't worked out all the kinks yet. If you touch the strings for too long, you get a massive shock.
I can see your hair's kind of already standing up there, Howard.
Yeah, but what's a little voltage when you're in the cusp of a new era?
A new era. That's just what I want to talk to you about, Howard.
Now listen to this. Baby, 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 baby.
Well, that's,
It's a new piece. I call it Baby.
Well, that's really, accurate. Listen, my son and I...
You see, all the songs are in the same style are going to be pretty much variations on that theme. Like, baby, 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 baby. Oh, touch the strings too long. Oh.
Howard, my sons and I, we want to play some club dates here in the city.
haven't you heard a word I've been singing, Willy? That old jazz stuff is out. This new style is what's gonna fill seats. We just need some white guy who can wiggle his hips, look good in leather, and keep a beat, and we are set.
I can wiggle, Howard, and I look decent in leather.
Ugh, please, Willy, I just ate.
Look, I don't need a big club date, Howard.
Willy, jazz is over. We're in a new age now, and I'm gonna call it shock and roll on account of the electricity, you know?
I know, but listen, Willy.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I got an appointment with some kid from Tennessee, Presley something.
But
I'd shake hands goodbye, Willy, but why risk your pacemaker, you know?
But
Later, alligator. That baby. Ow!
Hi, Ma. Hi, Happy. I'm home.
Biff, where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Yeah, Biffo. How'd it go with Bill Oliver at the litter box?
Not so great.
No. That's not acceptable. Your father is sitting in the backyard with a kazoo, Biff. A kazoo! He had one of the worst days of his life, and you're the only one who can bring him back. You are going to go out there and tell him you got a gig.
But I don't.
Think hard, Biff. Don't you have a gig? Because if you don't, and if I have to listen to T for Two on the kazoo one more time, I'm going to put my head in a blender.
You don't want Ma's head in a blender, do you, Biff?
No. But I don't want to hear T for Two on a kazoo either.
I don't care. Get out there and tell him something to cheer him up. Now.
Pop. Pop!
Biffalicious! Just warming up for our gig with Bill Oliver. You got the gig, right? Biff? Right?
He sure did, Pop.
Why don't you hand me the kazoo? Nice and slow, Willy.
Where's our date, Biff? Where are we playing?
We don't have a gig, Pop.
Biff!
What?
I got into Bill Oliver's club, Dad. I was waiting to play for him. And in the corner, I saw a guitar. And I don't know what came over me. I grabbed it and just started playing.
Nothing wrong with playing guitar, boy. Django Reinhardt played jazz guitar for years.
Not jazz guitar, Pop. Country western.
Oh, Biff!
What are you saying?
I'm a country western singer, Pop. I like songs about loading some highways and cheating hearts and, God help me, women who stand by their man.
You ungrateful little bugger. You call that music? You call that art?
Willy, don't!
Pop.
You want to talk about music? You want to talk about art? All right, you phony. Let's lay it out on the line. Tell them about Boston.
What?
Boston? What are you talking about? Boston?
Ma, you wanted to know what came between Dad and me? Well, tell her. Tell her, Willy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, maybe this theatrical flashback will jog your memory. It was the day I tried out for Basie's big band and totally blew it. I tried to make an improv out of a tisket, a tasket. What was I thinking? Nobody could ever make that song into a jazz standard. But I was feeling awful. And I went up to Boston to see Pop. He was playing at Club Ratatouille. but I found him in his hotel room.
Just a minute.
Pop,
Biff, what are you doing here?
I need to tell you. What is that?
It's nothing. Can you come back in a minute?
Is that a tuba?
No. Just a very large cornet for the band.
When I came to the door, I could have sworn I heard ba, coming from in here.
No. Next door must have been.
Pop, were you playing polka music?
It's not what it looks like.
My father, the jazz man, playing Lawrence Welk music?
No. Biff, you gotta understand.
Polka, Dad. Polka. What's there to understand? You were up here playing polka music.
Biff! Come back here! Don't run out on me! It's got a long distinguished history in Eastern Europe.
And that's what happened all those years ago. Well, I could never look my father in the face again.
Oh, Willy. Oh.
I was doing a riff on Roll Out the Barrel.
But don't you see, Pop? Don't you see? It doesn't matter. You can play polka. I can play country western. It's a big musical world, Dad. We don't have to be trapped here.
Here, come on, Biff, come on. I think you've said enough.
Let's go to bed, Pop.
In a minute.
Pop, if you want. I wrote a ballad about you. I can play it on my guitar.
No. Thank you. Thank you.
But it's tougher than you think finding a rhyme for Loman.
Go to bed. Your brother's right. You should all go to bed.
Will we see you in the morning, Willy?
Of course. He could still be great. He could bridge the gap between country and jazz, a whole new art form. All he needs is some fuel. A major tragedy to torment him for the rest of his life, and he'll have enough material for a dozen albums. He'll be great, you'll see. Great. A tragedy. Wait a minute. The doc said if I ever tried to hit a high G again, I'd bust a blood vessel in my head. Perfect. Old trusty horn. Let's do it. Let's do it for Biff. Let's do it for art.
Willy? Willy, was that you? Well, be careful on the stairs, dear.
I can't believe no jazzmen showed up at his funeral.
We should have thought of that before we scheduled it for 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
That was a bad call, you're right. I almost slept through it myself.
You okay, Ma?
I can't believe he hit a high G.
He won't be the only one. I'm going to start up a combo and play all of his favorite tunes on his broken instruments every night with 2 shows on Saturdays.
Well, why don't you come out west and write sad songs with me, Happy? You can whine with the best of them.
You kidding? And wear a cowboy hat? I'll stick to my beret and goatee, thank you very much.
Suit yourself. You coming, huh?
In a minute. You go on without me.
If I can just find those cowbells, I know I'll be set.
I can pick you up a set of cowbells right from the source in Nebraska, man.
They're gone, Willy. I wanted to play you a send-off. A royal exit for a royal jazzman. But I wasn't about to touch that damn kazoo. And the only other piece of your instruments I could salvage was this trumpet mouthpiece. So here's to you, jazz salesman. I'll catch you in that final club date in the sky.
Thank you for listening to our production of Death of a Jazzman. If you enjoyed this playlet and would like to show your support for our work at no cost at all, then simply go online, visit ourmayberry.com, and click on the Sioux Empire Community Theater campaign and register as a supporter. It's that simple. Our Mayberry is a cause-based online marketplace that benefits good causes like ours and the businesses in our community. As we populate our campaign, you will eventually be able to shop at local businesses who donate a percentage of proceeds from the sale to the community theater. Don't forget, go to ourmayberry.com and register with our campaign. Thank you.